we are going to start with chapter 1. The mountain is you. There is nothing holding you back in life more than yourself. If there is an ongoing gap between where you are and where you want to be, and your efforts to close it are consistently meet with your own resistance, pain, and discomfort, self sabotage is almost always at work. On the surface, self sabotage seems masochistic. It appears to be a product of self hatred, low confidence, or a lack of willpower. In reality, self sabotage is simply the presence of an unconscious need that is being fulfilled by the self sabotaging behavior. To overcome this, we must go through a process of deep psychological excavation. We must pinpoint the traumatic event, release unprocessed emotions, find healthier ways to meet our needs, reinvent our self image, and develop principles such as emotional intelligence and resilience. It is no small task, and yet it is work that all of us must do at one point or another. Self sabotage is not always obvious at the onset. When Carl Jung was a child, he fell on the ground in school and hit his head. When he got hurt, he thought to himself, yes, maybe I won't have to go back to school now. Though he is known today for his insightful body of work, he actually didn't like school or fit in well with his peers. Shortly after his accident, Jung began experiencing sporadic and uncontrollable fainting spells. He unconsciously developed what he would call a neurosis and ultimately came to realize that all neuroses are substitutes for legitimate suffering. In Jung's case, he made an unconscious association between fainting and getting out of school. He came to believe that the fainting spells were a manifestation of his unconscious desire to go out of class where he felt uncomfortable and unhappy. Likewise, for many people, their fears and attachments are very often just symptoms of deeper issues for which they do not have any better way to cope. Self sabotage is a coping mechanism. Self sabotage is what happens when we refuse to consciously meet our innermost needs, often because we do not believe we are capable of handling them. Sometimes we sabotage our relationship because what we really want is to find ourselves, though we are afraid to be alone. Sometimes we sabotage our professional success because what we really want is to create art, even if it will make us seem less ambitious by society measures. Sometimes we sabotage our healing journey by psychoanalysis our feelings because doing so ensures we avoid actually experiencing them. Sometimes we sabotage our self talk because if we believed in ourselves, we would feel free to get back out in the world and take risks, and that would leave us vulnerable. In the end, self sabotage is very often just a maladaptive coping mechanism, a way we give ourselves that we need without having to actually address what that need is. But like any coping mechanism, it is just that a way to cope. It's not an answer, it's not a solution, and it does not ever truly solve the problem. We are merely numbing our desires and giving ourselves a little taste of temporary relief.